The Full Melt Show is intended for a mature audience. It contains adult themes, adult content, and sometimes adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The KTVA 11 Evening News, awarded Best Newscast in 2014 by the Alaska Press Club and the Alaska Broadcasters Association. Weeknights at 6.
Well, owners of a new marijuana business are furious tonight, accusing Anchorage police of stealing from them.
Yeah, it sounds a little bizarre. Last night, a driver delivering marijuana had his car seized by officers. KTVA 11 Shannon Ballard is live from where it happened. Shannon.
Joe, Emily, it was the delivery driver's first day on the job. He just made a drop here at the Lakefront Hotel in Spenard. And when he came outside, he says police were waiting.
Michael Everly is frustrated.
I come out and I have two APD officers telling me to step out of my vehicle.
He says police took his cell phone, car, and everything inside.
Yelling, screaming, show your hands, turn off your vehicle, get out.
Everly is a driver for Absolutely Chronic Delivery Company, or ACDC, which brings donated marijuana to customers for a $10 delivery fee.
They had no just reason. No reason at all.
Co-owner Michael Kreitz says this wasn't the first time police took one of the company's cars, pot, and the cash inside.
We've been robbed twice, literally by a gang that calls themselves police.
APD says the cars were impounded as part of an ongoing investigation. Bruce Schulte, acting chair of the Marijuana Control Board, isn't surprised.
I'm not aware of any provisions in regulation or statute that make it lawful to operate a marijuana delivery service.
Schulte says pot businesses such as ACDC are taking a huge legal risk operating before marijuana laws are in place.
The laws that apply to commercial sales of marijuana haven't changed. Nothing about those laws has changed. What was in effect a year ago or even 5 and 10 years ago is still in effect today. Until those laws are changed by our legislature, those are the law of the land.
Despite the risks, Kreitz says ACDC will not stop delivering marijuana to their clients.
If you think that it ends with just us, never. Take our vehicles. We'll still get more. We have lots of members in our communities that are willing to donate lots of vehicles. Let's play.
Police did email us more of a response saying they had an extensive conversation with the driver and he is fully aware of why police did what they did. And we did have more questions for police, but they wouldn't say anything else as this investigation is ongoing.
Are you high? What are you talking about?
This is the Full Melt.
Give me a break. The Full Melt Show. A marijuana discussion about news, culture, politics, and lifestyle. FullMelt.com. Toll free. 844-420-TALK. 844-420-TALK.
Hell yeah, it's the other end of another week. We are indeed here holding down the fort for the marijuana community. Broadcasting live from the PetPain.com studios, you have reached another edition of the Full Melt Show. All right. Settling in today. Boy, it's hot where we are. It's not been real hot here lately, but boy, it's been hot. I am not talking about the weather. I could be talking about the weather because it also happens to be extremely warm outside where this broadcast comes from. We're in suburban Detroit, where this broadcast comes from. But it is a little bit hotter here than it has been in recent days past. We've been spared the heat wave that the rest of the country's had. It's kind of rebounding a little bit. But I'm not talking about the weather. I am talking about the busts in Detroit. The busts up in Port Huron. The busts up in a couple of busts in the Flint area. Got some busts out in Kent County, here in Michigan, just alone. I mean, Detroit. Detroit has been a haven for medical marijuana dispensaries for eons. Before there was such a thing as dispensaries. Police do definitely have much bigger fish to fry than to deal with marijuana in Detroit. And I would say, especially in a place like Detroit, even a bigger, an amplified version of a horrible waste of public resources because they are so scant there, that you would focus it all on anybody with a little weed. I don't care if they sold it to each other. I don't care if they did their little deal behind a dumpster. I don't care if they went into a little pot shop and bought a bag. Nobody cares. The only ones that seem to care are the police. And it wasn't even them up until very recently. Some city council people getting the hairs on the back of their necks standing up over the idea that there is a pot shop. And it might be too close to a school. Oh, God, these are such horrible, awful arguments. I mean, when's the last time you saw a kid go into your local liquor store to buy a candy bar? If that was a pot shop, he wouldn't even be allowed in there, let alone buy a candy bar. Or anything for that matter. It's a damn liquor store. It says right on there, liquor store. When's the last time you saw a kid go into a liquor store and come out with a bunch of booze? Of any kind. I don't care, beer, wine, any kind of alcohol. Spirits, little airplane bottle. I'll bet you never is the answer to that question. I bet you've never seen that happen. Kid walking out of a booze store with some booze. You know why it doesn't happen? Because it's frickin' regulated. That's why it doesn't happen. Because it doesn't happen. Kids don't come out of booze stores with booze no more than a kid would go into a pot shop, not even be allowed in, let alone come out with some pot. But some guy, some city councilman up there in Detroit, got his ire up and started flapping his wings, got the police chief to bring over the newly put together drug task force, because the last one had to be disbanded because one of them blew his brains out after getting busted by the FBI being crooked. Other one's going to jail. I mean, these people have horrible charges. It's abuse of public authority, public power, especially the police. Out there stealing from people, beating them up, doing stuff just because they have authority, not because they should be doing it. So it's a little crazy that in Detroit, of all places, I mean, Detroit was compared by Anthony Bourdain on that TV show he's got on CNN, that little cooking show. He goes around the world, talking about people's food. He compared Detroit. He said the only other place that he's been to on Earth that looks like Detroit, you ready for this, is Chernobyl. Of all places, do you think, if you were to look, put a microscope on Soviet Russia and look at Chernobyl now, the outskirts of the Chernobyl village, where there is still populace living. There are people actually living inside the, do not live here zone. I would not be doing that. The ones that do live around there, do you think the Russian police are over there with a microscope up people's butts looking for marijuana? Hell no, they're not. It's just nobody cares about Chernobyl. You know who cares about the Chernobyl? The wildlife that has taken over the formerly human-inhabited area that they destroyed for themselves. That's who cares about Chernobyl. I'm just drawing a comparison here. Not many people care about Detroit. I love Detroit. I'm in suburban Detroit. Grew up around Detroit. It's a part of my history. It's a part of my life. It's a part of the fabric of America. Unions were created in Detroit. Cars were created in Detroit. Motown created in Detroit. So much comes from Detroit. Nobody wants to give back. But the least of which should be the police concerning themselves over some stupid pot shop. They're going to do some dispensaries in Detroit. They're going to allow for some licensing, make everybody go through that process so that they're abiding by whatever law is available on that subject. Some created by local ordinance. But what I'm saying is that pot shops are being raided. It seems like in Michigan, at least, this might be the last free bastion of grabs by the police. And you know what? Anybody that gets some major felony drug charge over some pot deal or some pot shop deal or some alleged violation of the Medical Marijuana Act of Michigan after we legalized this in 2016. And I'm telling you, as factually as my heart is pumping now, it will be legal in 2016 in Michigan. I would bet my next heartbeat on it. That's how certain I am that this is getting done. So all those people that might be getting raided right now and getting felony convictions, because that's what they're going to try and do, and they'll be successful in many cases. People don't have the money to be drugged through the criminal justice system and survive it, absent a felony charge over a marijuana issue. Plus, it's a small possession charge. That's about it. You can misdemeanor there. Everything else is going to be felonious. That will be that way in 2016. It will be a $100 ticket. That's what it'll be. And you know what? Those people in Detroit, the ones that raided the guy that got the marijuana delivery car up in Alaska, they can focus on something important. They can focus on violent crime where there's a real victim and somebody's being hurt. You know why that's important? Because those crimes are being solved at a rate of about 20% as compared to the 90+% conviction rate on marijuana complaints or on drug charges. Almost all of those are adjudicated. Why is it that 20% of murder and rape and robbery charges, my car was carjacked at the stoplight. Somebody pointed a gun in my face, told me to get out, got in, and drove off. Why is that guy not being caught? When you're busy, I can tell you why. They're busy running around chasing stupid pot crimes because those crimes, you want to call them in quotes crime, those crimes add up to dollar figures in the coffers. The city gets some, the courts get some, the states get some. Just that's how it adds up. This is not revenue negative to the departments, the city, the state, the county, the township, none of the government entities involved with this charge or the profiting from its prosecution. That's why those were violent crimes. The ones that are dangerous, the ones you're chasing around with a guy that shot at people because there's a body over there with his bullet in it. Those are dangerous crimes. Those are the ones police would rather not focus on over this. And the jail cell with the guy that had some pot in there, that's now occupied when it should be occupied by the bloody guy. The guy with the knife, the DNA left at the scene. That's what should be going on. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Hang out as we explore the 420 community in news, culture, and entertainment here on The Full Melt Show.
You're getting The Full Melt.
Got something to hide? Canalock offers discreet and effective storage solutions that destroy odor, so nobody knows. Canalock is a patented charcoal-activated bag that discreetly stores your marijuana. Canalock is made from the same material as military chemical warfare suits. Get yours at Canalock.com. Visit Canalock.com to learn more about no-smell technology.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Door Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
Get growing with GrowMax. Indoor, outdoor, beginner, or a warehouse full of Gavitas. Probiotic organics, or huge production with Max Power monster aeroponics systems. We can help you rock it. YouTube GrowMax with 2 X's. Customer service is why we're blowing up. And I'm Dave. My cell number is 906-221-2111. We also specialize in electrical and HVAC and new double-ended bulb technology. 906-221-2111. Get growing. GrowMax.
Get the Beach Bong ready for sunshine and sandy beaches in Negril, Jamaica this November as the High Times Cannabis Cup moves from Amsterdam to the Caribbean. Your trip starts with the absolute best rates on airfare, hotel, events, and all your Cannabis Cup travel needs at travelcannabiscup.com. Come stay with us, relax in the sun, play in the sand, and smoke down with the cool people, man. Get to the High Times Jamaica Cannabis Cup. Best travel prices right now at travelcannabiscup.com.
My Compassion's Cannabis Conference and Exposition will be held July 23rd to 25th. The nation's premier cannabis health and wellness event will feature stimulating and comprehensive presentations that are up to the minute on cannabis science, human health, legislation, and business growth, all designed to attract the largest gathering of patients, healthcare professionals, lawyers, and service providers found anywhere. Specialists from around the country will give live presentations on cannabis. For tickets and information, visit mycompassioncanacon.com.
It's the Full Melt Radio Show.
Radio show.
Program airs every Monday through Friday from 7 until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just as a program note, just as you heard here during that last commercial break, come the following weekend, this time next week, we'll be broadcasting this program live from the Navy Pier in Chicago, Illinois, for the Canna Conference happening at the hands of My Compassion, a nonprofit organization out there talking about medical marijuana in Chicago. And I'll tell you, look, how can you prop up a medical marijuana industry in a place like Illinois where all these huge grows, they got, I don't know, some 20-odd grows around the state, spread around a whole bunch of licensed facilities getting ready to come on board. Where are the patients buying this medicine? That's what I want to know. And we'll find out the answer to that question during next week's broadcast live from Chicago, the Full Melt Show, next Wednesday and Thursday. It will be 7 p.m. Eastern, like we are right now. It'll be 6 p.m. Central. That's Chicago time. Don't miss it. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it's been a while since I've been in Chicago. You know, look, I don't want to get into the whole union thing, but it's weird because I used to do fairs and festivals, and we do, Christmas shows with booth sales, different gift items and, boutique type stuff. And, it's novelty stuff. And I'd go to Chicago, and I thought one of the weirdest things is we'd show up at some arena in Altoona, Pennsylvania, or in Kalamazoo, Michigan, or wherever we were showing up to do our show at. And we'd set up our little 10x10 booth and bring all our stuff in, all our wares for sale, and display them and sell them, right? You go to Chicago, and that crap ain't happening like that. I'm just saying, if that's what you're expecting to do when you get to Chicago, that is not what's going on. You're going to get there. You're going to pull up to the loading dock, wherever you're going to be, if it's in downtown Chicago anyway. You're going to pull up there, and there's going to be some union guy going, oh, no, don't be unloading anything out of that vehicle. Nope, leave it right there. And then they'll do one of these. Hey, Joe. Yeah, beep, 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 beep. Joe backs up with his big old forklift, goes underneath there, lifts up that stuff, drags it out of your vehicle, if you can do that. If not, unload the car and put it on a pile in a pallet right here. Joe's going to take the beep, beep, beep thing about 100 yards that way and drop it off. Which is your booth number? J13? Okay, J13, Joe. Beep, beep. Off he goes with your stuff. That'll be $200, thank you. Wait a minute. When I was in Altoona, I took my stuff out and set it up. I brought it over there, put it. I did it. I got the same people that I already paid to do that with me here now. I don't need you guys to. Nope, $200 union rules. So, okay, I guess there's no arguing it. Tell you what, if I do this myself, is there any skirting the two? Nope, if you do it on your own, we're still charging you $200. All right, go ahead, do it then. Jeez. I don't anticipate we'll have to do that. I'm riding with Larry Gabriel. If anybody knows who Larry Gabriel is, riding with Larry Gabriel all the way to Chicago with our tech support person, Bob. Bob is responsible. I can't hold it in anymore. It's going to happen soon. I'm so excited it's going to happen soon. I just hope the technology he's putting into it right now is not going to have any, glitches. There's going to be an app coming, and it's going to be coming for the show, and we'll have other content on there from other providers. Oh, I'm so excited about it. Free to everybody, app users, content providers. Oh, big news coming soon in the App Arena thanks to my friend Bob. Bob is coming with us to Chicago. He's going to help us set up all the stuff out there so we can broadcast our show live from that place. Been a while since I've been there, so I'm looking forward to it. Got to get a steak at the Miller's Pub. Like some 20 years ago, I got a steak underneath the L train at Miller's Pub, famous bar and restaurant there, downtown in Chicago. Got to go back there. It was like, where else on earth can you go at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and get a full menu available at a local pub? I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm ordering a New York strip steak. It's so just, I don't know, outlandish to me. Very ethereal, very weird, I would say. On the news front today, Responsible Ohio back up in the news. The marijuana legalization effort in Ohio, according to Cincinnati.com, is in danger because it does not have enough signatures yet to put a measure on the November 3rd ballot. Whoa, ring-a-ding-ding. Wait, wasn't it just a couple short weeks ago that I was reporting on this very program that this organization turned in nearly twice the number of signatures necessary to get on the ballot? So if there's some, according to this, some insiders here, I don't know if the article references it this way or not, but insiders say 33,000 signatures short of the cutoff line. I'll read you the rest of the article and then fill in the details that I know outside of what this article tells you. We're coming in lower than we're expecting, said Ian James, executive director of Responsible Ohio, the private investor group that wants to legalize marijuana this year. Ohio's Secretary of State is expected to announce as early as Monday whether Responsible Ohio gathered enough valid signatures to register Ohio voters to get the measure before voters in 2015. Responsible Ohio needs 305,591 signatures to qualify. On June 30th, like I said, just a couple short weeks ago, the group had turned in 695,273 signatures, with the goal of ensuring that it would have the right number, 50%, to qualify. They did not. This is according to the people at Cincinnati.com. In 4 Southwest Ohio counties, final counts show the petition campaign had a majority of valid signatures only. Warren County had 53%. Hamilton County had 33.74% validity rate. That's 1 in 3 signatures, folks, that's valid. 2/3 of them, scratch. Butler and Claremont counties came in at 41%. That's just horrible numbers. Look, if you're going to pay signature gatherers, those people all got paid for those signatures, valid or not. I think that's the way these gatherers look at it. Look, it's a signature. I'm getting $2. Screw you. James said he believes so there's the Secretary of State. If it finds that Responsible Ohio did not get 305,591, the group has 10 calendar days to send out its army of signature gatherers in hopes of hitting the target. James said he believes the 10-day cure period will be enough to gain the necessary signatures to place Responsible Ohio's proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot. He attributed the lower than expected validity rate to the possibility that registered voters often forget to notify County Board of Elections when they move to a new address. When a voter's address on a ballot petition doesn't match the one at the Board of Elections, the signature is invalid for the petition. Responsible Ohio is proposing a constitutional amendment that would legalize marijuana in Ohio this year. The proposal limits the commercial cultivation of marijuana to 10 farms as a way for the state to tightly regulate the growth, production, and sale of the crop. Home growers could get a $50 annual license to grow up to 4 plants. Opponents of Responsible Ohio call its plan a monopoly, although the correct economic term is oligopoly. In direct opposition to Responsible Ohio, the Ohio legislature has already placed on the November 3rd ballot a measure that would prohibit, quote, a monopoly, oligopoly, or cartel, end quote, for any business in Ohio, especially one that would produce and sell any drug on the federal schedule of controlled substances. And I think that's a smart move. Oh, there's some legalization people going, oh, no, what are you doing, shooting down, wishing that thing down? I don't care if it is a monopoly, oligopoly, whatever sloppily it is. It's a way for people to keep from going to jail. Stop it already. Smack, smack, smack. Wake up. I am not in that group. I am not with that crowd. Look, I agree with you. It's better than nothing. It's better than what they have now, which is just, decriminalization. However, it even threatens the decriminalization thing. Under decrim right now, it's a $100 ticket in Ohio for anything 100 grams or less. 100 grams. Goes down to under 30 with the Responsible Ohio adaptation. I just don't know that I can get on board with that. Let's create something antithetical to free market economy and shrine it in the highest legal article the state possesses, being the Constitution of the state, will enshrine this oligopoly into place where it shall ever be cemented for future use in exchange for some pot rules. If that was the only thing up there, I'd vote for it. I would, because the people that I'm opposed to right now, the people in our group in the marijuana community that want to say, no, you got to put, it's good legislation. It's better than what they have. They're right if that's the only thing that shows up at the ballot box, on the poll, on the ballot itself. If not, if there's something better than that, scratch that other thing out. Cast a no vote for Responsible Ohio. Cast a yes vote for something else. There is not going to be a ballot petition competing with Responsible Ohio on this year's ticket. So I say vote yes to it. I have a feeling the competing thing that the legislature put in place, which would effectively quash any winning vote for Responsible Ohio, at least this round, they'd have to go through 2 more election cycles to get that done now, if that other bill passes, and I think it will. So I say vote yes for it. I'm not going to suggest you sign the ballot petition. I'm not going to push it. I'm saying if it shows up there, vote yes, because I don't agree with it in its entirety. But it is better than nothing, if that's all that's there. If it's getting shot down at the same time, vote no. I think it will be shot down. I don't care. Vote yes and then shoot it down. Vote yes on both. One will shoot down the other. At least this way, it's kind of a no vote confidence. They're like, yes, we want legalized marijuana, but no, we don't want it this way. That's what's going to be said in the state of Ohio this year. That's what the news is going to tell. That's the story they are going to tell after this year's election campaign. 2015, not the presidential campaign. This fall, this November. That's what the newspapers will be writing the following day. Mark my words. I have a feeling, and that's the only way that would apply, is if these guys gather some approximately 30,000 signatures, valid signatures, inside of that 10-day window, assuming that these guys are going to say you're tens of thousands of signatures short of the goal. You got 10 days, get them in. If they go through that, because they're going to validate, I imagine, every single one of those signatures. If they still fall short, this will not appear on the ballot this fall at all as a subject. The other one by the legislature will still be there. Responsible Ohio will effectively, under all terms, have to start over again. Will not be available to voters as a viable answer to safe access to cannabis by adults 21 and over for medical purposes or otherwise, or for any persons of any age for medical purposes, given the right recommendation and condition, until 2016. That's when that's going to happen. Either scenario, whether a Responsible Ohio gets on or whether they don't, I think the other ballot petition is going to get enough votes, and this is going to go down in flames. If it doesn't get up on there because they don't get enough signatures, still goes down in flames, doesn't it? This will not be handled until 2016, when I believe and I hope that OTEP will get enough signatures collected correctly, hopefully outshine these people with all the cash. Look, we had less money and had a better signature gathering campaign than you. We managed to do it right. And we're supposedly the stoners. You're the big business people. I mean, that's what they're going to say. You watch. Mark my words. That is how this is going to turn out. Moving on. There were other things that happened in the news today amongst the, I still can't get over the police taking that stupid car in Alaska. I mean, this just shows you again. It just highlights, really, why this should not be something the police have access to. This is not a police issue. drugs in general are really, honestly, not a police issue. You know what it is? Any crime that may be associated with them. If you find a way to regulate that stuff instead of black market it, instead of prohibit it, then the crime goes down. But you can still go after those people. Anybody that's doing stuff that's going to hurt people, go after those guys. Drugs don't kill people. The same way that guns don't kill people. People kill people. It's not a drug war. It's a war on people. It's a war on your own citizens. And you're paying for it, Mr. Taxpayer. Just remember that. So there's so much going on. Let's see, just diving into it a little bit. The first marijuana TV ad ever. Have you seen this story? I mean, I'll read it to you from theweek.com. The story goes, as it's loading. This is out of, they're talking about Denver, a local affiliate in Denver. Marijuana culture has come a long way since Reefer Madness. Coloradoans tuning into Denver's ABC affiliate KMGH next Thursday for Jimmy Kimmel Live will be treated to an ad promoting Neos, a company that sells vape pens loaded with cannabis oil. While the ad itself sounds pretty generic, the cannabist describes the commercial as a lifestyle shot that shows people camping on a hike, portraying a cannabis consumer who's active and healthy. The spot marks the first time the U.S. will air an advertisement for a legal marijuana company, the Cannabis reports. The ad will, of course, be subject to Colorado's strict marijuana advertising laws, meaning ads will have to be aired after 10 p.m. and cannot show people using the product. It's funny because the cigarette ads and the booze ads showed both of those things going on. For the longest time, standards and practices on television would not let you drink a beer. This had to be nightmare for the people on Cheers. I'm sure they weren't drinking beer in that studio. I'm sure it was some kind of, bubbly apple cider or something. Drinking beer on television or consuming alcohol of any kind, even during that period, is strictly prohibited. It wasn't so much illegal as it was self-regulated. Same thing with the drug companies that make prescription drugs. You used to never, when I was growing up, you never ever saw an ad for any kind of drug on television unless it was an over-the-counter drug. Some aspirin, something for pain relief, something for a cold or a flu. Over-the-counter, that's where you got it. The drug companies had some self-regulated rules that said, look, we don't do that. It's antithetical to the process to have patients recommending products because they saw a commercial to their doctors. You go to your doctor, you give him your complaint, and he's the only one qualified to decide if some kind of prescription or outside influence will help you.
You're getting the full milk.
My Compassion's Cannabis Conference and Exposition will be held July 23rd to 25th. The nation's premier cannabis health and wellness event will feature stimulating and comprehensive presentations that are up to the minute on cannabis science, human health, legislation, and business growth, all designed to attract the largest gathering of patients, healthcare professionals, lawyers, and service providers found anywhere. Specialists from around the country will give live presentations on cannabis. For tickets and information, visit mycompassioncanacon.com.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other hemp-based products for humans, the allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pet.
It's not easy out there, but it can be easier. And when it comes to medical marijuana in Michigan and chronic pain management, Dr. Bob Townsend, renowned for his patient advocacy and deep understanding of how patients and medical marijuana certifications fit together, makes it his hallmark to educate and provide the best holistic treatment for your condition. His knowledgeable staff makes you feel warm and welcome, and Dr. Bob makes you feel well. With locations across the state in Cadillac and Gaylord, Kalamazoo, Marquette, Mount Pleasant, Muskegon, Saginaw, Traverse City, you can't beat the convenience and feeling you get knowing you have someone on your side that cares. Denali Healthcare is on the web at denalihealthcaremi.com. Get answers to your holistic health questions or schedule an appointment now by calling 989-339-4464. Chronic pain management and holistic health answers is what they do. It's all they do. DenaliHealthcareMI.com. Get your certification and peace of mind now by making an appointment with Dr. Bob Townsend at 989-339-4464.
Get the beach bong ready for sunshine and sandy beaches in Negril, Jamaica this November as the High Times Cannabis Cup moves from Amsterdam to the Caribbean. Your trip starts with the absolute best rates on airfare, hotel, events, and all your Cannabis Cup travel needs at TravelCannabisCup.com. Come stay with us, relax in the sun, play in the sand, and smoke down with the cool people, man. Get to the High Times Jamaica Cannabis Cup. Best travel prices right now at TravelCannabisCup.com.
Get growing with GrowMax. Indoor, outdoor, beginner, or a warehouse full of Gavitas, probiotic organics, or huge production with Max Power Monster Aeroponics systems. We can help you rock it. YouTube GrowMax with 2 X's. Customer service is why we're blowing up. And I'm Dave. My cell number is 906-221-2111. We also specialize in electrical and HVAC and new double-ended bulb technology. 906-221-2111. Get growing. GrowMax.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and you're listening to The Full Melt Show.
It's The Full Melt Radio Show. People are so stupid. Oh, they're so stupid sometimes. Please don't be one of the stupid people. It really bugs me when they're stupid people. So, listen, there's a bunch of stuff that's going on this summer. I just told you we're going to be in Chicago next Thursday and Friday on this program, doing our show from there out at the Canic Conference with My Compassion. In the interest of spreading out some other events that are local to the area here, Puff Danny's Puffapalooza is happening Saturday, August 8th. It's a big music event for $20. You get in at noon. Gates start at 11, actually. The music starts at noon. In Jackson, Michigan, there may be some VIP tickets available. I don't know. There might be a couple left. There's a raffle going on for a very cool glass piece that was made. They're going to make a donation to this show, which is very, very cool. Thank you, Puff Danny, for that. So please get a raffle ticket. The live glass blowing out there, which is an amazing process if you've never seen it. Disc golf happening all the time, but there's a tournament on Sunday. If you got $10, you can get yourself a cart and go rolling around. Tickets available now. Remember, this is Saturday, August 8th. You can get tickets at puffapalooza.brownpapertickets.com. That's puffapalooza.brownpapertickets.com. Or stop by Puff Danny's on Fort Street in Wyandotte and check out his wonderful glass boutique. Now that I've mentioned that, I also have to tell you about something happening up north. But since my friend Super Dave Osborne, is not Dave, it's Dave Frazier, but I call it Super Dave. So Super Dave put this together for me to tell you about it. Check it out.
The UP Harvest Fest and 3rd Annual TLC Gathering is happening Saturday, August 15th at the Coyote Campground in Stevenson, Michigan. Good times, lots of great music, games, and the TLC Cup are just the beginning. It all kicks off at noon with DJ Reckless, then Mick Holiday, Smokin' Joe and the Roach Killers, Chad Saunier, Focus, and the Borderland Blues Band. There'll be lots of vendors, goods, artists, and live glass blowing too. Call ahead to reserve a free booth. We've got a bunch of fun games planned also. Washers Tournament, Frisbee Golf Best Shot, and a kickball tournament. All events are free to enter. Just call ahead to ensure your spot and get here early. We'll have inexpensive food available, but bring your own beer. Plus, there's a private medicating area for Michigan patients. It all starts at noon at the Coyote Campground in Stevenson, Michigan, Saturday, August 15th. Camping, vending, and sponsorships are still available. The UP Harvest Fest and TLC Gathering, Saturday, August 15th. Call 906-221-2111. That's 906-221-2111. Let's party!
Yeah, let's party up there in the UP. If you're down here, it's Jackson in Michigan. So that's what I had for you there. Look, when I was talking about stupid people, I'm just saying there's stupid people, and some of them might be investing in stock. Marijuana Biz ordered to stop illegally soliciting investors. Dateline, Denver. This is according to 9 News. I'm assuming 9 News is out of Denver. Denver Business Journal. This is reported by them. 9 News is probably repeating the reporting of the Denver Business Journal. For 2 months, one man posted Craigslist advertisements seeking high net worth investors to strategically partner with one of the largest MMJ chains in Colorado. But the man, Ryan M. Quinn, was not registered to sell securities and has been ordered to stop. Colorado Securities Commissioner Gerald Rome issued a cease and desist order yesterday to Quinn, stipulating that he can no longer illegally solicit investments for a marijuana business in Colorado. Quinn, who during the months of April and May of 2015 posted the Craigslist advertisements, was found by the division, which is part of the Department of Regulatory Agencies, to be conducting solicitations improperly. The terms of the order, which Quinn agreed to, require him to immediately cease and desist in the offering of unregistered securities, to cease the offering of securities as an unlicensed issuer, and to cease engaging in any further violation of any provision of the Colorado Securities Act. You can read the full report in the Denver Business Journal. Check it out there. Please don't be a stupid person. If it's illegal, doing it on Craigslist just makes it more, even more. It's one of those, dumb criminals jokes. I mean, I'm sure you're not trying to break the law. This is probably one of those things where you just maybe didn't know. I mean, it is a bit new in your defense. It's, maybe you aren't familiar with, this type of regulation about soliciting for investment. But it is highly regulated. I mean, Securities and Exchange Commission would be all over you for doing that if it was listed with the New York Stock Exchange. So there's that kind of stupid. So that people don't get their tits caught in a wringer, so to speak, there has been some forward movement on the issue of marijuana banking, according to The Hill. Signs of life for marijuana bill, and that is important, I shall say. Look, I'm going to play this report to you. If it'll play, this is from The Hill. Will it play? It might be a lie. It might. Here it goes. It might be.
Our air is.
There's going to be a commercial. So while the commercial is playing, I will tell you that The Hill is one of those publications, obviously, that involves Washington, D.C. Why do they all have to put a commercial up? It's going to be 30 seconds, so I'm going to have to ad-lib for you for another 10 seconds or so.
Cost families over $2,000.
And this is one of these
Don't mess with success.
paid for by the American Petroleum Institute. You are not getting a free commercial on my air. Here we go with the article. Come on.
Tell us about what your bill would be.
Congressman Perlmutter's bill would allow that states that have authorized either medical marijuana or adult recreational use marijuana, those legally constituted businesses in those states would have access to the banking services so that they can move away from being an all-cash transaction.
The fact that we have 6 senators who really are interested in this subject, and they're all pretty prominent senators. The Oregon senators, the Colorado senators, Rand Paul, and Patty Murray. That gives us some real enthusiasm to press forward with this bill, where it's been kind of languishing in financial services over the last year or two. That's why we really are starting to strike up our strategy sessions again.
It's emblematic of the momentum. As he suggests, a year or two ago, all we were getting was giggles and titters. The fact of the matter is the Senate has now introduced a bill with broad bipartisan support and several sponsors and co-sponsors. So I think really what it says first and foremost is they are sensing that this is something that has to be dealt with, and they're trying to get with the program, frankly.
Aha! Giggles and jitters, they said. Giggles and jitters is all they were getting as little as a year ago. You can't sell pot and put the money in the bank. What do you think we're crazy out here? We're legislators. We can't allow that to happen. Soft on crime. What do you think? Look, no respect. Who's going to elect me next time around? Got the Rodney Dangerfield going on, pulling on the tide. No respect. I can't do that. If you want me to represent you, I cannot do that. Giggles and jitters they got. See, they knew that they were holding this up despite the states doing this despite the people wanting this done, despite the massive will of the overwhelming populace, the vast majority of them, wanting both, access to marijuana as a responsible adult for its use, consideration, sale, growth, production, distribution, manufacture, transportation, delivery, conspiracy, all these things. We want this to go away. These people were holding it up. Giggles and jitters, it says in that report. But I'm glad that it's finally getting some momentum, gaining some high ground, so to speak. Oh, speaking of high ground, coming up after the break, which is, still a couple minutes away yet. I gotta do a Butters update because I have a feeling, given the rainy situation, that with the guy who I'm calling, what's the guy's name? I always forget his name. Oh, who's the crazy guy? He's not crazy. He's an interesting guy. Oh man, he's got it. Mick Dodge. He's the Mick Dodge of Michigan. Yeah, look up just Google Mick Dodge if you don't know who he is. Michigan's got its own kind of, he's not self-proclaimed. I'm only attaching the label because it's fitting to some degree with comedic angle. Joe Brown over there on his organic hemp farm, building a house from the ground up, he is. Using everything from the woods to build that house. Off the grid it shall be. Using none of the stuff society sends his way, including electricity. Well, at least none manufactured by those stinky old smokestacks up the road. He'll be having his son produce the electricity for him, as perhaps it should be across the country. Look, if Germany can have the vast majority of its electrical production being produced by renewable sources, the vast majority of that being electric power produced by solar panels, there is no reason this country should not be following suit. Tremendous savings in this renewable source if you do it right. There are people here in our own legislature in Michigan right now trying to prevent the future law enforcement of the regulation saying that about 10% of, actually it might go up to 25%. They don't want to even have the 10% mandate in there. New electricity brought on, 10% of it must be renewable sources. I think that's a very reasonable request. People in charge here say, no. They actually want to call coal-producing electric plants a green technology. They certainly can't say it's renewable. There's just no renewable in that. Why don't you just dig up your coal and ship it to other countries who will pay you handsomely for it and don't have any regulations with regard. They don't care about how clean the water is, and they're not going to care for a while until it's poisoned, and then they'll care. Dig up your coal and send it there. Why can't we make some power with some wind and some sunlight? It's doable now. Germany is doing it. Don't tell me it can't be done. There needs to be more research. Got to find a more economical way. Germany's doing it. Why is your medical marijuana grow not powered by the sun, even as it's got to be inside? That's what I want to know. So we do a Butters update. I call it a Butters update because of Butters the goat. But I'm just saying, my whole initial thought was I got to check in with Joe out there, languishing under the elements in a field somewhere, a very foresty field on the southwest side of Michigan. They've had some rain. There's been a lot of rain out there. And since our last update with him last Friday, this very time, I know that he's probably had to move to higher ground. I'm just wondering if he had to move to even higher ground, because our last checkup with him, his crops were underwater. He had to move. They lost some of them. They had to replant some of them. I saw him mowing. He got attacked by raccoons. Had to shoot some. Had to relocate others. Trying to grow his only, he's got a hemp crop growing out there, a small research hemp crop growing out there. He's got his regular herbal teas and stuff growing out there. Had to move all that stuff. But Butters the goat, I want to know, first off, I want to know if that goat can swim. Can goats swim? I don't know. We'll find out when we come back in a minute with Joe Brown out on the farm. Joe Brown on the farm, yeah. See, now I got my own drop. I got to pull that from my own drop now. I need to call through the show and get little pieces, little clips where people said something weird out there on a branch somewhere. And by itself, that would be one funny that little singing drop that I just did about Joe on the farm, yeah. I need to get some crazy pieces like that and stitch them together into some kind of, I don't know, commercial. I need to do a whole bunch of audio work for this show. It's getting a bit stale for me on this end. I need to freshen it up with some bits and some pieces, working on all of that. But right now, I just can't get the idea out of my craw that there's going to be a mobile app coming soon. Oh, man. I just can't talk too much about it because I will jinx it for sure. I will jinx it. I've been saying for 3 years now there's going to be a mobile app. I think it's almost been 3 years. It's at least been a solid 2. That just goes to show you how difficult it is to put a mobile app together that is doing the things that we want it to do. Boy, there's some technology in this baby, I'll tell you. It took me 3 years to figure that stuff out. 3 solid years. Now, this could fall into the category of stupid, or it could fall into the category of, I guess just plain genius. So in the first place, you got this extremely conservative state, Utah. In the second place, you got people trying to do marijuana legalization, and those legislators are like, screw you. Maybe some oil for kids, then we're out of here. 3 Utahns told lawmakers Wednesday that they're using marijuana even though it is illegal in the state. It was part of their plea at the urging of Senators. Oh, God, why has it got to do the stupid ad while I'm trying to read to you? Seriously? You're going to give me an ad while I'm trying to read to you. Oh, it makes me mad. Starting over again. This is the only thing about online stuff. You're in the middle reading the article, and it's got to pop an ad on you. Really? Senator Mark Madsen, the Republican from Saratoga Springs, to encourage state leaders to legalize marijuana for medicinal use. This is about the patients, Madsen said. I came into this issue because of the patients, because of the people who are suffering needlessly because of government policy. And that's the truth of the matter. Madsen and others are drafting a bill to present to lawmakers in January. His first attempt during the 2015 legislature failed, as lawmakers wanted to proceed more cautiously to have more time to devote to studying the issue and its potential impacts in Utah. But they got up there and said, look, I'm using the weed. Hey, I am too. Hey, that makes 3 of us. We're all using the weed because we need to, and we're willing to put our freedom at stake to show you that medical marijuana patients are not out to get high.
You're getting the full melt.
Got something to hide? Canalock offers discreet and effective storage solutions that destroy odor, so nobody knows. Canalock is a patented charcoal-activated bag that discreetly stores your marijuana. Canalock is made from the same material as military chemical warfare suits. Get yours at Canalock.com. Visit Canalock.com to learn more about no-smell technology.
Imagine a world where patients can use marijuana like any other medicine. The Marijuana Patients Organization challenges the status quo by helping our neighbors to enjoy a better quality of life. Visit the MPO at marijuanapatients.org and enjoy informative articles, engaging debates, and information about treatments, doctors, and dispensaries in your area. Over 50,000 people have registered at marijuanapatients.org since 2010. Join us at the Marijuana Patients Organization today, marijuanapatients.org.
Hey, it's Steve Green for the Sweet Leaf in Flint, because now getting safe access to medical cannabis patients in Flint, Michigan is never more welcoming. Presenting the Sweet Leaf, a brand new patient experience bringing 12 carefully selected caregivers housed in 9 separate offices to distinctly assist you with their knowledge and reputation for excellent patient care. Classes and training coming soon in the large community room. Check it out in person, 400 South Door Highway, or call 810-259-2571. The Sweet Leaf Center in Flint, 810-259-2571.
If you're like us, your pets aren't just animals. They're members of your family. Pet Pain CBD hemp oil drops are great for aging as well as active dogs and cats. Some people are apprehensive about hemp treatments for pets. They ask us, what are you smoking? Absolutely nothing, and neither will your pet. Like other hemp-based products for humans, the Allure is all of the benefits of cannabis without any of the high. The CBD oil has shown to rejuvenate the bones, joints, brain, stomach, eyes, and heart. And the drops contain absolutely no corn, wheat, soy, artificial colors and flavors, or preservatives. Pick some up today. Visit petpain.com or ask for Pet Pain at your local pet store. Petpain.com. CBD relief for your pets.
My Compassion's Cannabis Conference and Exposition will be held July 23rd to 25th. The nation's premier cannabis health and wellness event will feature stimulating and comprehensive presentations that are up to the minute on cannabis science, human health, legislation, and business growth, all designed to attract the largest gathering of patients, healthcare professionals, lawyers, and service providers found anywhere. Specialists from around the country will give live presentations on cannabis. For tickets and information, visit mycompassioncanacon.com.
It's the Full Melt radio show. E-sheesh, really? E-sheesh. Hey, shout out to @E-sheesh. That's E-SHEESH. He's a new follower on the Twitter feed. If you want to follow us on Twitter or on Facebook, easy links on thefullmelt.com. Right there at the top of the page, it's really easy to link to us on iTunes and subscribe. Just click the iTunes link, and it's done. That easy, really. Look, I got in trouble for this song yesterday. It went underneath me too long, and the people at YouTube made me remove the song. I don't know what kind of magic spirit they can insert into a program to get you to remove the song, but there is some kind of way where they can scrub that song directly out of whatever it is that you are recording. Whatever video you already made, they got a way to scrub that song out now. I have no idea where this technology came from. So we've only got a couple of minutes left in the program, and I want to make sure we get a chance to do a Butters update here. So I'm dialing. Oh, damn it. Now I got to do it again. I can't chew gum and walk stairs. Hang on. Let me dial the number. There we go. So we're doing a Butters update. I got to find out whether poor Joe and his family got drowned. Only 3 minutes on the Butters update this week. There's not going to be much time. Joe's going to have to speak fast.
Hello?
Joe Brown.
Yes, sir.
Are we on speakerphone?
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to take you off?
Yeah, because it's going to repeat back to us.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm here.
Oh, that's a lot better. Joe Brown, we're on the air. Is it okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm driving right now. I had to leave the farm for a little bit and drive all the way to Lansing because there's no provisioning centers in my area because they're a bunch of pricks. And so I have to come all the way out here to get my medicine.
Look, they don't have no, pot huts out there in the woods?
No, we got to grow it ourselves out where I'm at.
Listen, I wanted to call and get an update from you because it's been awfully wet. Did you get drowned out there? Did you have to float the goat, so to speak?
Well, we had some storms and there was some flash flooding, and we did get wet a little bit again. But I'm happy to report that we moved it 10 feet, and then we had a second flood last night, which is really flood number 5, and we are completely good now.
You're good. So you've moved to high enough ground so far.
Yep.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed on so far because if you get too much more rain, maybe the water level rises and you got to move again.
Well, I don't anticipate that'll happen, and I'll tell you why is there's no watermarks, and there's no indication that the water comes up to that high on that part of the property. So we have approximately a 2-acre area in one section of our property and another 2 acres. We call them the islands now, because that's really what we own. We own 2-acre islands within a 9-acre area that is underwater most of the time. And I'll tell you something that's good news that I got to report is we got permission to grow Native American wild rice on our property. And now we're going to be one of only 5 companies in this whole region that grows this Native American wild rice. And it's extremely tasty, and it's used for special events in the Native American community and for high-end restaurants.
So you're growing Indian rice?
Yes, sir.
Is it multicolored like the corn?
Oh, we're still doing corn. The areas
just so you know, we're about to hit break. We're about to end the show. The music's going to hit. So, yeah, there we go. There goes the music, Joe. Damn it.
Sorry.
Well, that's okay. No. I just wanted to, I know you can't hear because the music is blaring in your ears right now. We got to call next week and get another Butters update from you, Joe Brown.
Yes, sir.
So hang on for a second until after the show. I'll talk to you after we're off the... Oh, he's gone already. He wouldn't even hang on. I'll see you next week when we go live from Chicago. Talk to you then.
The Full Melt Show is a production of TFM Media.